Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and other crypto fans around the world. And just two girls and me tonight. What a fantastic idea that is. Is it the rose between two thorns? Is that what they say? Or it's the other way around, isn't it? A thorn between two lovely roses. I better get that right, otherwise I'll be in trouble the next time I see you two. Karen being my sponsor and Claudia being our presidential ambassador. I don't want to be clipped round the head with a Bitcoin from Claudia anytime soon. So I'll quickly say g'day to Karen. How are you, Karen? Where are you at the moment? Are you in Botswana, Spain, Venezuela? Where are you?
Hi, Keithy. Back in the UK today. Hi, Claudia. It's a dull day today, but we've had a few lovely days, so can't complain at all.
Fantastic. All right. Well, good to see you. And you're looking refreshed from your little sojourn over to Europe. Where did you actually go before?
We went to Goa. I'm sorry about that. The internet was absolutely awful, and I think I was on about 2 minutes, and it just went off for hours and hours. It was off more than it was on, but that's India for you, I guess.
Well, we'll come back to and chat about your holiday because it's very interesting to India. As 1.3 billion people live in that country. So that's a huge market for cryptocurrency. So I'll come back to you in a second. Now, Claudia, you're so regular now every week, which is fantastic because we can tap into the information you have, direct source to Genesis Mining. You speak to them like one-on-one, like you're just on the telephone chatting to your friends. That's the relationship we have, which is awesome. Where are you today? Not in Venezuela, not in South America. You're not in Germany. No, I know. You told me that. Where are you now?
I'm in a hotel room right now in Switzerland.
In Switzerland. All right. Okay.
In Zurich. I'm in Zurich, on the Lake Zurich.
Okay, fantastic. So, well, the sun's shining by the look of it through the window there.
It's beautiful, but it's actually hot. So I'm probably going to meet some people then later for a business meeting. And then I'm going to jump into the sea.
Oh. Which sea is that you were jumping into?
It's the Zürichsee, the Lake Zurich.
Oh, Lake Zurich. All right. Okay. Not an ocean, but just a lake. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you'll get to jump in the real sea when you come here to Australia in about 6 or 7 weeks. We want to talk about that today as well.
Too cold. Too cold. Forget it. It's too cold.
Let's just we'll just get you a wetsuit organised and a surfboard, and we'll just train a couple of the local dolphins to tow you along. That'll be all good. So all the marine life up here is very, very happy and friendly. And we've got a couple of things to talk about here in Australia, which is pretty exciting news, what's happened. So welcome, everybody. We've got quite a few people watching. Now, if you, I'll just double check where we're live on YouTube. So with our Hangout. Now, just throw the link if you're watching into your Facebook page now, just say live with Claudia and Karen, and then get people to jump in and join, and then they can find out what the business is and what it's all about, the business you're in, and the exciting things that we can talk to you about today. It'll give your friends a bit more information about building generational wealth, because that's what we're all about. Swiss Gold Global, 10-year-old company. ICO's coming up very shortly, and I'll ask Claudia in a little while about the ICOs, when there are any news updates about those from Bill. Bill's in meetings in Dubai. I already spoke to him by WhatsApp. He's very tech savvy nowadays, Bill, on WhatsApp, so I can have little conversations with him back and forward, which is great. So he's in meetings today, so he can't jump on, which he loves normally to do. So what we've got up to date so far is that obviously Bitcoin has climbed back up, did hit 7,700 today US. So it's a bit of a mini surge. Someone told me that May was going to be a bit flat and then it'd start building in June. Well, it's the 4th of June today. We're rapidly approaching 6 months into this year already, which is totally amazing. Today, it's 1 year and 10 days for me, Karen, and Swiss Gold Global, 1 year, 10 days. Can't believe it. Have I aged anything in a year? Don't answer that, Karen. But
congratulations on your anniversary. Fantastic.
Yeah. Where's the time gone though? It's just flashed past.
It certainly has. That is for sure. Just flies by.
Now, when you're in India, very interesting that because there's 1.3 billion people live in India. What sense when you were there did you talk about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, or did anyone have little Bitcoin signs up at the places you went to?
To be fair, we didn't really go to very many places. It was actually on a retreat, and there weren't that many people there. But I did speak to obviously the people I came into contact with. There was one lady from the UK who not interested. Another lady, her husband is doing mining and all sorts of stuff. So that was an interesting conversation. She's also from the UK, from London. And I've actually got 3 of the Indian ladies that were working there actually looking at the business at the moment, which is fantastic. So they're taking a serious look and considering joining. They'd heard of it. Someone had said something to them similar for both, really, all 3. In fact, they'd, had it mentioned to them like a year or so ago, had a look at it, didn't understand it, and sort of just left it at that. And of course, I went through it a little bit more with them in more detail and explained what we'd got here. And so, yeah, they're taking a good look, and I'm just setting up meetings with them. And one lady who's actually English, but she actually lives in Dubai, and she's seen it and wanted to get involved, but didn't quite know how to. So again, it's just pointing people in the right direction. So
it's unbelievable the opportunity in India with the amount of people. There's a lot of Indians everywhere in the world. They populate and live in many different countries. There's even in my local community here, there's lots of Indians. The contacts that they would have if you came with any of these large countries, the adoption of Bitcoins, particularly in India, has had its drawbacks through government talk about the cryptocurrencies. Their currency, some of their notes are virtually worthless. The rupee, because of the economy is pretty bad for some of the people who are earning next to nothing there. They took away one of the notes I read a few months ago because it was used by people on the black market and the government couldn't control it. So they just stopped, said that as of Monday, that particular note has no value whatsoever. So they just stopped it. You can hand it in, but it's not worth anything after Monday. So a lot of countries and governments and business and organisation and banks, I think, feel a little bit threatened by cryptocurrency because they have no control over it. The control goes back to the people. So once the people understand the power of cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin in their first instance, then that's when the movement will start. And that's, maybe I'm finding that too here in Australia, that the understanding, everyone's heard of Bitcoin, but they don't understand it. I spoke to a guy who fixed my tyre today on my car. I had a puncture, so I got a puncture repair, and I paid with my Bitcoin card. I've never got it here. Oh, yes, I have. There it is. Paid with my Bitcoin card, the coin jar card. And he said, I said, can I pay with Bitcoin? He said, yeah, it's only $12 for a puncture repair, a quick one. And he'd never seen or anything like a Bitcoin card, didn't realize that you could actually use Bitcoin right now to pay for goods and services. So that was a real eye-opener for him. And I said, well, what have you heard about Bitcoin? He said, well, just heard a bit on the news and a few people talked about it, but I don't really understand it. So I've come to the conclusion over the last 6 months, and through trying to research, that there's about 30 million people in the world who have a Bitcoin account or a Bitcoin wallet. From all the stuff I've looked at, and please correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, that 30 million out of 6 billion people or 7 billion people on the planet. It's a tiny, tiny drop in the ocean. The last 6 months, a lot more people have heard about it, but they've done nothing to get involved. So I'm starting to post now, open a coin jar account and put $20 in, then you're the owner of Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin through CoinJar. So I'm encouraging people to just open a free account with a wallet and buy some Bitcoin. Be an early adopter. So to educate. So in India, the people you've come across, the locals, like those ladies, that's the same thing with them. They've heard about it, but know nothing about it.
Yeah, they'd heard about it, went and had a look on the internet. One lady I spoke to, she said she'd come back the next day. She said, "Oh yeah," she said, "I had a look. It's gambling." I said, "Well, you know, you can use any sort of currency for gambling, but you know, no, that isn't like the main sort of reason. That's not what it's all about, you know." So it's just like Claudia says, really about educating, and you know, educating people into what we've actually got, because it's going to change so many lives in the future, for sure.
Yeah, the thing is, you got to keep telling the story though, because some people get it and some people don't. So you just got to keep telling more and more and more people, and keep sort of spreading the word. I guess people refer back as like the internet when it started in the early 90s. No one trusted the internet or understood the internet. Now people cannot live without the internet. And I read a very interesting article today about people targeting the travel industry, of people traveling around the world using Bitcoin as a form of payment for when they go traveling. And Claudia is a classic example. Can I ask you, Claudia, how many frequent flyer points do you have?
Actually, I don't know, Kitty, because I have so many different cards, because, you know, all my Latin America trips, I go with Lufthansa, and maybe also sometimes I try to avoid it, but sometimes American. So, and the other ones I go with Emirates or Qantas and Singapore Airlines. So yeah, I have a lot, but yeah.
You must have a few million frequent flyer points. which is great. We all want to get to that stage, so we're all building that way slowly. The reason the whole gist of the article was that if people are traveling regularly or doing business in different countries or buying off eBay or whatever they're doing, if they have one single currency they can use in all the different countries, rather than going to the exchange rates and going through buyers and sellers and going to an exchange, money exchange at the airport when they arrive, changing their British pounds into what's the currency in India, Karen?
I can't remember. I think it was the ruble.
Rupiah.
Rupee. I knew it was something like that. Yeah. There was lots to the pound.
So rather than you changing at the airport when you arrive, you could be just buying goods and services of people who accept Bitcoin, and then that would be worldwide. So it's a worldwide currency. If people understand that's the advantage of buying and selling online, using Bitcoin, traveling online, traveling around the world and using as a global currency, then they can see where it have its advantages over buying and selling local currencies when you go here, there, and everywhere. But it's very early days. That's what people sort of can't wrap their head around. But you know, we're right in the thick of it, and we're learning about it, and we're moving along. We've got gold and silver. We've got cryptocurrency mining contracts, and now we're moving into ICOs, initial coin offerings, which are the coins before they go live on exchanges. So, Claudia, is there anything in the last couple of weeks, any updates that you could fill us in on our two ICOs, the gold and silver related one and the other Swiss Gold Global related one?
Well, not much. I just got the white paper. So yeah, Bill gave me a look into the document they have produced. So it's moving ahead.
Okay, well, that's great. So, well, I've got a white paper then that's all been set down to actually what the coin is, who's backing it, who's behind it, what the idea of the coin is. And that's a fantastic step to get to that stage. So that's awesome. just on the crypto note, there was an article here in Australia that Brisbane Airport has actually gone completely crypto. They're claiming to be the first airport in the world that fully accepts, and every place in the airport accepts cryptocurrency. So you can go to any cafe, food shop, dress shop, souvenir shop, and pay for everything in crypto at Brisbane Airport. Now that's a massive step forward for first off, Brisbane Airport Corporation, BAC they're called, to allow cryptocurrency to be accepted in every outlet in their jurisdiction. So airports nowadays are like gigantic shopping malls, basically, where you walk through all these shops to go and get on a plane. So there's goods and services there available, and they've got on board and embraced the technology, and a company's come in and set up all the merchants with training and how to do this and how to do that regarding cryptocurrency. So travellers are told when they arrive, we're crypto friendly here at Brisbane Airport, which is incredible. It really, really is incredible. And then we've gone one step further. That I asked Claudia before we went live, she'd already heard. There's a small town in Queensland called 1770. It's a historical town, and they've gone digital. They've done digital cryptocurrency accepted by every single trader in the town. There's only about 2,000 residents there, but there's a lot of international tourists go to 1770. And what they wanted to do was target the digital traveller. Now that's a whole new sort of buzzword about people who are digital travellers nowadays. So people who are involved in making money online and use the latest technology within their business, and then want the opportunity to spend on goods and services using that technology. So every single merchant in this small town has a scanner for Bitcoin, has their iPad for the QR code, so they can accept Bitcoin from travelers coming through their town. Every single one, every single business has got on board, which is incredible. That's really, really amazing. What about your local? You're in the city where you live, Claudia.
Yes. Well, I'm in a city. Yes, it's called Wiesbaden. It's actually beautiful on the Rheingau. So, but right now, actually, my plan is today because I have to do some business meetings, and then I'm going to go back. But I'm probably going to go to Zug. Zug, Zug being the capital of crypto in the world. That's here in Switzerland. It's just probably 1 hour from where I am. So, the Silicon Valley of the technology is obviously in California, but the Silicon Valley of crypto is obviously in Zug, and that's just 1 hour from here. So I'm probably gonna go there, check out, and I want to go also to a bakery and get some coffee, which only accepts crypto here in Zurich. So let's see if I can make a video, if I find it first, because my parking skills are not the best. So.
All right, well that's good. It is happening. It is happening very slowly. And very surely. That's the really encouraging thing. That I know Bitcoin's down, our mining contract returns are down a little bit at the moment, but what's happening in this space is really encouraging, that people are slowly but surely getting involved, and businesses are starting to get involved. Once you start getting businesses involved, you get a momentum. You get a momentum of business. G'day to all the guys watching, Billy, Doug. Oh, g'day, Connie, how you going? Got a few watching, which is great. Now, the good news for us in Australia is that in July, and about it's the 4th now, about 6 weeks from now, yeah, maybe 6 weeks, if that, Bill and Claudia will be heading down under to Australia again. So I'd just like to reach out to everybody on the call tonight who are all over the place, all over the world, that you obviously know people in Australia that are either looking into cryptocurrency, gold and silver, or ICOs. And so we're setting up 4 meetings. And the first, we haven't got the venues we've got two venues penciled in Sydney and the Gold Coast, Brisbane and the Gold Coast. But on Saturday, the 21st of July, and I'll put this in various Facebook groups as we get more detailed information for everybody. Saturday, the 21st of July will be Melbourne. Tuesday, the 24th of July will be Sydney. Sunday, the 29th of July will be Brisbane. And Tuesday, the 31st of July will be the Gold Coast. And I put a poll out on my own Facebook group. We've got a number of people already lined up for Brisbane and the Gold Coast because that's the area I'm in. And we're going to get a lot of people down for Sydney and Brisbane. So if you know anyone in those four areas, you can personally message me and just ask me the details. So I'll create a Facebook event for each one. I've got a meetup group. I'll create an event for each one of those so we can spread the word to all our different members here in Australia. And virtually the thing is that we want to educate people who are not quite sure what Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin mining is, how to earn a passive income part-time, how to build a business on the internet, just a few hours a day. And that's what people really, really want to find, those information scenarios out from people and businesses they can trust. We've got 10-year-old Swiss Gold Global right here with our ICOs coming out. We're expanding our business. We're going stronger by the day, by the week, by the month. And we're in year 11 now. So if you know anyone in those key areas, Sydney, we'll go to Melbourne first, Sydney, Brisbane, then the Gold Coast. So really looking forward to catching up with you again, Claudia and Bill when he comes. Anything on the agenda that you want to tell us about, Claudia, about what the meetings will mostly be about when you get to meet people here?
That's going to be a surprise. I don't know yet. No, of course, we're going to talk about the business model. Obviously, we're going to talk about a little bit on the ICO. I don't know how far we can go into yet, because, of course, Bill wants to have everything legally approved from all the authorities. And, you know, it's a long process. If you want to be legal before you get out with the ICO. You know, most people, they go out with the ICO and they are not legal. They then get in the legal process after they raise the money. Well, we're going to do it the different way. We want to be legal before. So it's, of course, a long process. So I don't know how far and how deep we can go into that. So yeah, sure. I mean, I'm going to talk about, you know, own your life. That's the message. Own your life. Understand wealth. Really understanding the concept of, you know, our basically all the world is changing right now. We are on a brink of what we call the largest wealth transfer in human history. That's where we are at right now. I mean, we have all those geopolitical situations, all the, of course, the money, the fiat currency system, which, of course, if you are a true believer in Bitcoin, and that's what we're going to get people educate on, and in gold and silver, well, and you understand the economics, you understand fiat currency, well, you will realize this is not a good place to be if you only have fiat currency, if you only earn in fiat currency. So I believe I would like to educate people on understanding where you and guys in Australia, in the UK, in Germany, where we're at, in a very simple method, so that not to scare people, but they really understand, hey, if I'm not having gold or silver or Bitcoin, I might miss out on this biggest wealth transfer in human history. And that's that's my message going to be. And of course, combined with the ICO and fun.
Yeah, awesome, fantastic. Now, Karen, are you going to jump on a plane and come out to Australia and see us all, or what's happening? Or are you just going to stay in the UK? You've been in India, so you've done a bit of a holiday. Or do you have any meetings coming up locally?
We haven't yet, no, and no. Unfortunately, we won't be able to come out to Australia this year, which is we'd love to. Just one thing on the cryptocurrency though. Did you realise that the Marshall Islands is the first country to accept it as their legal tender? They're actually setting up their own ICO, and because they haven't actually got an official currency of their own yet, and they've actually set up. They're actually going through the process of setting up their own ICO. It'll only be like something like 24 million coins to stop inflation within within the countries, within the islands, you know, and I think once that happens, then it will be classed as an official currency. Because the thing is, at the moment, no country has yet taken on Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency as an official currency. So it's not, you know, a lot of countries aren't seeing it as a currency because of that. You know, so some countries are classifying it as an asset, and some are classifying it as, you know, something else. But it's actually going to be then officially, according to the report I was reading anyway, it'll actually be officially a currency, which is a fantastic step forward.
Very, very exciting. Yeah, well, it's just going to get more and more from different businesses coming on board, countries, airports, local towns getting involved. So, as Claudia says, we're right on the cusp here of a wealth transference from, and you've got to have both. You're correct. You're spot on. You've got to have your dollars in the bank or your pounds in the bank, but you also got to have some gold tucked away. You've got to have some Bitcoins as well, or Ethereum or Litecoin or Dashcoin. You've got to have all these as well. You've got to be spreading your risk, as they say. Is there any likelihood of, I know Prem's been having a couple of meetings in London, maybe once every month or 6 weeks, getting together with a few people that I've seen them advertising. Are you planning anything in the next 6 months yourself, Karen?
I haven't got anything yet. We were waiting for the ICO to get Bill and Claudia over for that, but obviously we've had sort of no real sort of dates as yet, so we can't sort of firm it. We've been, you know, sort of holding on, waiting for that, so that we've got that to be talking about when they come over. So that's the plan, but we haven't really got any dates yet.
Yeah. Okay. So great. All right. Now I'll just you folks are watching. Just put your questions in the chat box there if you wouldn't mind. I know there's a few people who normally like to ask a few questions about the business, about talking to people about how the business operates. We've got some tremendous stories of people who have enjoyed the business here in Brisbane, and how their knowledge of cryptocurrency has just changed within a short period of time. They got very, very excited. One of the ladies in my team has quit her second job. That's probably one of the best stories of the last 12 months for me, that she's been working 2 jobs flat out, and she's been buying mining contracts and getting returns, so much so that she can stop her second job and just have the one job, which is, you know, that's what it's all about, changing people's lives for the better. Very, very exciting to hear that from people. And also, I've just got a couple of people staying, because I've got 2 rooms up here in my house, Airbnb. And I told Claudia a couple have just come in tonight. They're from Venezuela, and I've got this sign virtually near the front door, so when people come in, all they can do is just they can see that, as they can't go past that without looking at it. I said, oh, by the way, do you know anything about Bitcoin? So they're a captive audience when they come here. Anyone who walks in the door gets hit on straight away, which is great. And they said, oh yeah, we know Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin. I said, do you know much? Oh no, we just know a little bit about it. We've heard about it. And I said, well, there's a lot of people in Venezuela very interested in Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. Yes, we know. We know people have the computers at home. So everyone knows someone who knows someone now that's involved with Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining. So the word is spreading pretty rapidly. Once you drop that stone in the pond and the little ripple goes out, the ripple starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is it. The Bitcoin stone has been dropped, and we're on that little wave that's flooding out there. All we've got to do is speak to and educate as many people as possible. If we haven't got any questions, folks, is there anything you want to bring up, Claudia, before we finish? Because it looks like we can do a really nice short one tonight, which is great. I've covered off Brisbane when you guys are going to be here. I'll post those events. We'll be talking about ICOs when you're there. Is there anything that you want to cover off?
well, I mean, as I said before a little bit, like for me, and you know that, of course, I'm 10 years with Swiss Gold Global. The Bitcoin mission is really what, of course, we have started out with the gold mission. So I really want to encourage people to get to understand as fast as ASAP as possible about Bitcoin, because you said before, to have like as much dollars in the bank account or be diversified into that. I actually prefer to have as less dollars in the bank account, as less euros in the bank account, because they are based on debt. That's what they are based. And so our currency, our fiat currency, is so much based on debt. In fact, we see Italy, of course, which of course is a large economy as well. And Italy has the third largest bond market in the world, the third largest. And so a bond, of course, is a debt obligation. So, and therefore, of course, it's a form of borrowing money. That means they have borrowed so much money they can never pay back. And so this is going to be crashing so huge, so big. I mean, they tried to, with the quantitative easing, meaning fresh supply of printed money in 2008, to sort of obviously, this effect, which everything went down in America as well, in Spain and in Greece, in Ireland and Iceland and Portugal and so on. They tried to, of course, cover that up with the quantitative easing, but they can't anymore. This has gone so, I mean, we are in such, if people would just understand that, in such dangerous right now position, basically. And you guys in Australia, I mean, come on, real estate is out of, it's just unrealistic. I mean, no young person can anymore in Australia purchase real estate. I mean, it's impossible, the prices where they have gone, right?
Very, very true indeed. Yep, it's amazing, the price jump. It's just out of control. It is.
So where do you think this is going to go? This is going to crash big time. I mean, huge. I have really no idea and how big this will be, but it will be very sad. And so the people who right now get into gold, silver, and cryptocurrency, they're going to be protected. They will be protected. But if you're not in there, you're going to have such a big awakening if you don't have a piece of land. And I really tell this because I believe in that. And I know that. And I'm in the insider circle where the very few people are in the insider circle. If you don't have land, if you don't have, basically that you can produce your own food, and this is really so crazy as it's get, you're going to go, I don't know where, but you're going to have another good, basically, I don't know, it's going to be hard. And so this is going to come. I don't know when it's going to come, but we see, I mean, when we see things like Italy now here in Europe happening, you guys are far away, Kitty, but again, your situation in Australia is not the best either. So I'm looking forward to, again, pay more for my coffee than I paid last time. But we see Argentina, 35% inflation from January to what? To end of May, 35%. Imagine, 35%. We see Venezuela, of course, is 6,000%. I mean, that's anyway, that's out of it's crazy. But 35% in Argentina, which is a large economy in Latin America, and so we see those countries. More and more of those countries who were huge borrowers of money because they got easy, cheap credits in the year 2008 from the United States. So, well, this money has to somehow, they have to pay away back their debt. So as Italy, when are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? What's going to happen? And so that's why my mission is, you got to have a business, not just get into Bitcoin and buy a little bit Bitcoin, but you got to have a business, a business which gives you residual income, where for $50 a month, if you share it with other people, you make dollars, which you can then switch into gold, into more mining, but you got to have a residual income which pays you more money while you sleep than that you can spend when you are awake. That is my mission.
That sounds like a great mission, Claudia. And you're very, very correct as always. We are a little bit sheltered out here in Australia. We're 12,000 miles away from Europe, focused on what's around us in Asia. I guess the majority, a lot of stuff out here is focused at what the big Asian countries are doing. Lifestyle in Australia, you have to work hard to get ahead. And there are smarter ways to do that. And that's what people are looking for. And if we can help them in any way with the information we've got with Swiss Gold Global, and we're doing people a service by explaining to them there are other opportunities rather than working. It used to be 9 to 5 hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then it went to 8 to 6. And then a lot of people work 7 to 7 now. And when I was in a salaried position for a corporate company, I was expected to go in on the weekend as well and complete the tasks for no extra money except from the money I was paid per week. So I had to go in on my own time, and do the chores and do the work required, because the work was just piled up and piled up. So pressure put on me to get the work done, which meant I had to go and do it in my own time. So that's why I'm so passionate about online businesses and having that time freedom for yourself. And all you got to do is help as many people as you can by explaining the business that we're in. Karen, can I go to you and just ask, if there's a message, to finish off tonight, what sort of message have you got for people in your neck of the woods, back from looking at people, how they live in India and your travels to Europe, now that you're back in the UK? Your economy is sort of up and down a little bit, isn't it, in the UK from all accounts?
Yeah, it's like Claudia was saying, really. It's pretty much same as the rest of Europe. It's not great. The property market is definitely slowing down now. So I think it's just a matter of time, isn't it, before it all comes tumbling down, and just need to protect ourselves as much as possible before that happens, and try and help as many people to do the same. And that's it, really. I mean, we're lucky that with the internet we've got a whole global network, which is fantastic, and to be able to have that, I mean, you in Australia just now, we're just all over the world, and I think that's just incredible. And it's a life-changing business what we've got with Swiss Gold Global, and I'd recommend everyone to get involved with it, really, because we haven't looked back since we got involved.
And how many years? I haven't asked you this, Karen. When did you first? I have actually, but I've forgotten because I'm getting old. When did you join Swiss Gold Global?
Approaching 2 years now, so it's I think it's July the 1st. 2 years on July the 1st. So yeah, fantastic. It's been good, really, really good, fantastic. Well, and our mining is piling up now, and just waiting for the next bull run, really, which will be nice to see. Very welcome after the last 6 months. It's been a bit, coming back down, but it'd be nice to see it going back up again as more people get involved, which they will.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's what I've started posting. Just open a Bitcoin account, get involved in the currency, create more demand, create the price will go up. We'll benefit for our payments from our mining contracts, our computer power contracts. That's all we've got to explain to people, and that's what I'll do. If you want to get involved with cryptocurrency, open a Bitcoin wallet. Then you can buy it and hold it. You can buy it and trade it, or you can buy Bitcoin and then you can buy some mining contracts, computer power contracts, and you can actually earn Bitcoin every day. You can get paid in Bitcoin. Swiss Gold Global will give you Bitcoin every day.
We were without a card for a few months, but we've got one again now. The Wirex card is back, so that's really good news. So again, like you've got your CoinJar. We lost the Zappo cards and all the other Visa-related cards a few months ago. The company pulled out, but now the Wirex is back, so that's really good news too.
Now, is that backed by Visa or MasterCard, that Wirex card? Does it have a logo on it, or is it a separate entity?
I'm not sure. It must be a different entity, I would think, because
No logo on it.
I'll check and I'll comment below the video what I find out on that, because I can't remember what it said now. But I was just happy that we've got a card back to use, you know.
Yeah, well, I can't do without my coin jar card. I use it every day, and
It actually says Visa, guys.
Oh, okay.
it says the wiring says Visa, so there must have been specific conditions that they were able to come to an agreement with Visa to promote their card using their logo. Well, that's good. Well, it's just a start. Next 12 months will be more cards that people will be able to use worldwide, and that'll give them more encouragement that it's not a scam, or whatever the Indian lady said, it's gambling or whatever. That when you show them a Bitcoin card and you start buying services from them or showing people, then that's where the proof is in the pudding. So thank you for that, Karen, and thank you for joining us at today. It's great, always great to have you on. We need more women in the business too, so encourage more of your English lassies to get involved in Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin Granny? What's she been up to? I haven't spoken to her for a few months.
I haven't spoken to her for a couple of weeks, but I'll go and have a chat with her, see how she's doing.
Yeah, maybe we can try and get her on next week or the week after.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks for inviting me on, by the way. Thank you. Yeah,
that's all right. All good. Yeah, it's great to show people Bitcoin Granny. I think she's 86, something like that. She's a mad, crazy woman up there in England, but she's doing a fantastic job. She's got so much get up and go. Hopefully I've got that much in, well, I'm coming up to 60 in a few months, a few weeks actually. I've got to take my vitamins, otherwise I'm not off too early. Not off to bed. No, I'm all right. I'm full of energy. I'm vitalized by gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies flowing through my veins at the moment, replacing some of the old blood I've got. So, Karen, thanks for coming on. Fantastic. Claudia, always a pleasure having you on, and the inside information that you can give us, the white paper there, that's a very positive step forward for everyone to see you flashing that around. And also your insight.
I have the token already. I already have the token.
Yeah, the token. Yeah. We saw that last week you were flashing it around. We couldn't see their logo, which is good. We don't want to see the logo, so that was all good. So thanks for your insight. Now, I'll just a reminder, anyone watching, if you know anyone in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and the Gold Coast here in Australia, have a contact or a friend of yours who wants to know about Bitcoin mining, wants to know about Bitcoin ICOs, then they need to get along to these 4 meetings that we're having with the owner and Claudia attending. They're going to be awesome information days. So just get on the phone, message people who live in those areas, and then contact me, and I'll put you in touch with the events that I'm going to create over the next couple of days. I'm just going to tie the venues down in Sydney and Melbourne, but I can set up the events, and just to be advised, the venue. The venue is pretty easy to set up, but I might do the events organising tonight actually, and get those out so people can start planning ahead, because it won't be long, and you'll have to get your passport out for down under, Claudia. Just pack light. Oh, it's in July. It'll be a little bit coolish. So there's not many sharks around in July. The water's a little bit cool, so it's all happy swimming around here. So
well, Melbourne is going to be cold. So
yeah, Melbourne's always a bit cold because that's down south. Queensland will be beautiful weather. So thanks, ladies, for being on tonight. It's great to have your company as always. Thanks for watching, everybody in YouTube land, and spread the world, tell the world and spread the word about gold, silver, and cryptocurrency, and we can help you out. We've got the information, so ask the person who brought you along to this particular hangout, and if they can't help you, join one of our Facebook groups. We've got our Swiss Gold Global corporate group, got Swiss Gold Global Australia. I know there's a couple of groups in the UK that Karen's part of, so get in touch with us and we'll put you into those groups, and you can learn as you're earning, which is what we do. Thank you, folks, for watching, and we'll see you next week. That was number 41, done and dusted. So number 42 next week. That follows on. Have a great week. Have a very positive week. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.